Welcome back to this series on how they got the slate from the Dinorwic Quarry, high up in the hills above Llanberis, down to the Menai, straight down to the port at Port Dinorwic. Now this video is a continuation of a series that we started in May, but we was lucky enough to be invited, me, Phil and Vinny, to see an old tunnel, the Port Dinorwic Quarries Tramway. Now that tunnel, go and watch the video if you've not watched it, because it does set this series up, and it was all about that tunnel that was assumed lost, and then they knocked out the back of a pub to reveal the tunnel was still present. And we had a look in that tunnel, and then we had a look at some of the lower end of the railway and of the tramway that was used to get the slate from the quarries to the port. Now I'm here in Wales filming this week. I'm filming 4 videos, and we're mainly focusing, I'm interested on the method of getting the slate from here to there to the port. I'm interested in those old railways, the disused railway side of things, but we needed to come and show you the quarry at the end. We've done the port, we're showing you the quarry. If you search on YouTube, it is saturated with videos, people exploring this place. It is special. It's I've never been up into it before. I know of it, I've been to the area before. I had a video planned to do here, and I broke my leg the day before, and I never came to do that video, so I'm only getting back here a number of years later. This isn't going to be a warts and all history. We're not going to be able to show you everything. This place is far too big to squeeze into a video of 20 minutes, and like I say, I'm more interested in the method of getting the slate down. That's what this series is all about, down to the port. But this is just setting the scene. I want to show you some, just to give you an idea, that we had the railways, we had the infrastructure, lots of internal railways, inclines, and the setup that we had up here in the quarry. Is this a little bit of rail? Look at that, like an L-shaped plate.
Actually, it does look like.
A bit like, it's like the end of like the fish-bellied rails. I mean, this is very early at this quarry. I think this is like horse-drawn. And this quarry right at the top. Yeah, interesting.
Come on, you're missing all good snippets here.
We're seeing stuff before we even get in the quarry. So it's gone off right. So I think, is this the start of, we're going to see some of this on future episodes, but we're just up near the bus turning circle, right up at the top. And look, we have got routes of tramways we can see. This would be part of the village tramway, a link to some of the oldest parts of the quarry on the eastern side, including Acthy. And we'll come out and it'll spit us out with the views over the main Dinorwic. There's the tramway. We can see this. We can still see this on the maps. I actually thought that we walked. I thought that was the way that you walked into here. I thought it joined this road, but it runs side by side with it, doesn't it?
It's a shelf, but why is there a lower area then?
I'm guessing it's just been raised up, hasn't it? It's just an embankment over a dip. There's actually 2 different generations of tramway here, including a later one which smoothed out the gradient. And the track we've been following was in fact part of the old Slate Road, which was the forerunner to the tramways and railways.
I think this was a slate face. I think they've cut it out as opposed to after built it up. So down below where we've just been walking, it's too good to miss. Just look at this engineering. They've had to build this retainer for the tramway at the top. Unbelievable. And no sign really of any bulges. You know, it's really standing the test of time. Gone all the way down. Really is amazing.
So that's where that arrives from, where we've walked from the bus turning circle. Look. And we have got the old footage of the trains working in the quarry, and we'll see old dilapidated buildings like this. Here, look, Ardle Mills. So they did, obviously, the size of this quarry, a lot of the processing of the slate was done on site up in the quarry. They're in a paddle there, Phil?
Yes.
Got some company today. Got Steve.
Hello.
Pissed up priest, you might know him as. Who are you? I know you.
The Dole for Derbyshire, Johnny Catcher-Wolfer and Big Phil, or just me.
Is that Phil? Look at the incline. That is what I'm interested in. That is the thing that intrigues me about this place. I love an incline. The whole infrastructure and the whole premise of the incline is something that really, really fascinates me, whether it be in Derbyshire, a small one, all these huge monster ones. I love the abandoned ones, you know. So you're thinking of power building?
Yeah, because the insulators are on all four sides, it's running electricity to more or less anywhere in the quarry.
Oh.
Obviously the later edition, look at 1921.
1921 date stone there, look, just above there. We've just walked into the quarry here, and you get your first look around at all the galleries and all the inclines. Just take a look at the maps, look at the amount of inclines, the amount of tramway lines. Look at that, that's just absolutely fascinating. The odds of finding a day where it's not windy up here is probably, you've got to be very, very lucky.
That water would have been the quarry as well, would it?
Yeah, that's Llanberis down there. So just underneath us here we have got the active power station. There has been some pretty well publicised rock falls around here as well. I suspect that's why they're wanting people to be keeping away. Well, I wouldn't take your breath away. Whilst we're up here today in not so favourable conditions, we should spare a thought for the men who work the quarries, and difficult for the likes of me to comprehend working in a protected bubble of health and safety. I'm sure they made allowances for 50-mile-an-hour winds, but these hardy souls would be expected to keep the turnover of slate going all year round to keep food on the table. Which brings me on to today's weather. Now, you might have noticed the wind. We're joined today by Storm Amy, and she's really about to announce her arrival.
This has suddenly took a bit of a turn. Oh.
So this is the retaining wall of another incline, isn't it? This. You smell it as well, can't you? You can smell like the oil and it's the smell of industry. It's one of the shafts for the hydroelectric power station underground here. I have to believe that we're stood on top of a hydroelectric power station right now. Some bits on the quarry side, it was hard to even hold the camera, and the wind just took away your breath. So I'll try and keep the windy footage to a minimum. So much footage was just unusable. The scale of the place is something else. Another incline in front there. But we've just been saying, look at the little passageways that you see that are cutting underneath. Purely, I'm guessing, just for access.
Well, I'm thinking that, you know, horses may have worked in some levels in this place, so if you look at the shape of that, I would imagine it's for a horse to go through.
Possibly, yeah. What, the tubs all cascaded down the bottom? This is extreme. But we are where we are. Try and cling onto this fence and show you the view. Oh, you really can't breathe. It is the bottom of the incline now. Look at that. Look. That's still attached to the winding drum at the top. I love the structure of these. I mean, that look at the bow on that wall though. They're just a work of art, aren't they? And you can see, I'm not for a minute going to try and, there's so many railways, it's so complex, but you can see, look, can you see the veins off this main incline going out to the side? You can see all these lines on the old maps going in every direction, covering every corner of the quarry. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. Right, great to see that. 2-foot gauge. Got a sleeper in situ.
Yep.
Great. There's all the tubs down there, look. Can you just see them?
Are the cables eroded the middle of it.
Telegraph pole or...
Nice bolts, that's got bolts in that, and that tramway.
Just have another look on the side of this incline. Look at that. The very nice setting by the looks of things. Again, it couldn't just give us a couple of hours, could it? And then here again we've got another like gallery where would have had, you know, sidings. Look, more workshops, mills, slate dressing, etc. Gonna have a look through this little archway. We were just looking at this from the other side. Look, underneath the incline here. I'm sure not going near any ledges or anywhere. That wind is it's just powerful enough to even someone as, you know, weighted down as me, shall we say, as far. It's just fantastic just to be up so close to something like this, you know. Dreamed of coming here for a long time. It's so gutted when we've had the weather forecast for this week. That track chair still on its sleeper. Assuming it's just to shore it up, is it?
Yeah, but not only they use track, they're still in position in the seats.
Yeah, both rails. 2 foot gauge, look. Looks narrow for 2 foot. And that's what this climb has been all about. So 2 foot gauge mostly in the quarry, or 1 foot 10 3/4 inches if we're being exact, and each incline worked on a counterbalance system where loaded wagons descending under their own weight hauled the empty ones back up, all controlled by these huge winding drums and braking houses that you can still see today, and you'll see these drum houses scattered all through the quarry. In the early years, horses pulled wagons along the galleries. These were eventually replaced by the iconic little steam engines that have become a surviving icon for the North Wales slate industry. And many can still be found chugging around various railways, these days hauling tourists. We will see Little Padarn down at the bottom later in this series, and I rode on Holy War a few years ago. And remember the story of little Alice? We rode her on the Barla Lake Railway earlier this year, and she was rescued after being abandoned high up in this very quarry. After the 1840s, all these internal lines and inclines ultimately converged at the workshops at Gilfacthy, where prepared slate was sorted before being transported down the Padarn Railway to Port Dinorwic. But we'll see more of the bottom of the quarry and the Padarn Railway later in this series. Yeah, look, we've got internal tracks here as well, and our L-plate tracks, and the remains of an old tub.
Yeah, check out this brake here, Paul.
All right, yeah, brake handle. So this is how they
And it works, look.
Truck's going down. Wow. Oh yeah, look at that. So it's so simple, isn't it? It moving up. Make contact with the drum. It's closing in now, isn't it? With a...
Yeah, it is.
The incline behind it, it's got rails all over it.
So this is what I was hoping to see. Stuff like this, stuff, you know, the railway infrastructure, look, all the, look at the points there. Look at this, B-type single, Williams patent, maker's leverage. A G-type single, is it? A B-type, I can't tell. So is that a point lever then? And then look at this. Oh, I'm not climbing this one. We've still got the track. One of the rails there, this single track, is it? Look, it's got a staircase alongside of it. Yeah, there's a railway line in it. You see, it's actually going off the end of this, yeah, collapsed. Yeah, I'm not standing here now. You can see it over the other side. Well, if I ever needed a demonstration on just how harsh it is up on that hillside, and that's about as much dirty weather as my filming equipment could cope with, really not the day for standing around on mountainsides ogling at Slate Cavesses. And as I say, this was never going to be the best Dinorwic Quarry video ever made. Many people have explored further up. They probably had better weather for a start, but just to save the usual parade of comments on how I missed this and missed that, all I really wanted to demonstrate to you in this episode was the remains of the railways inside the quarry, the inclines, the winding mechanisms, the brake drums. It's all part of the story of the journey the Slate made. All those tons from high on that hillside to that port, through that little tunnel that we walked through. Incredible. So what's coming up in this series? In the next episode, we'll be getting stuck into the routes that the tramways and railways took and looking at what's left, starting with the horse-drawn tramway or the gang road. And thanks to my channel members and anyone who supports the channel, there's various ways you can help me out, including a channel membership which is currently just £2 a month. You can buy me a super thanks or have a look at some of the Wobbly running merch. So thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next episode. Ta-ra!